Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon Heartgold Randomizer Hardcore Nuzlocke. It's still going to take me a while to get used to that title, but anyway, yeah, we are back. And the last time, the first couple attempts of this run were definitely a little bit nuts. You guys actually left some pretty good feedback in the comment section too, in regards to liking how I did things before, like with the more Pokemon that the important trainers have, but raising the level for battling gym leaders up to the highest level ace rather than the lowest level ace. I think what I'm gonna do is I might actually amp it up to the highest level ace, because I still want this, because the Pokemon that they're gonna have are still gonna be to what they have in vanilla. So for example, as you guys saw with Falconer in the last episode, he had 2 Pokemon. So I want to keep it at 2. But because of that, I feel like where I have things at right now, while still using the lowest level ace and them having the same amount of Pokemon as they have in vanilla, I feel that's actually a perfect in-between spot, and I think it would actually work relatively well. Anyways though, today we are going to head on over to the Pokemon Mart, go grab the egg, and then make ourselves down to Azalea Town, which we're going to go face off against. I don't know if we're going to face off against Bugsy today. We might have time to go do that, but I really don't remember. I also have to stop in this house because there's a special Pidgey that I really like here named Strawberry. There's just something, I remember like when I was playing through Generation 2 for the first time and like I went into this house, I actually named my Pidgey Strawberry. And I don't know, I just think it's like absolutely like adorable. Pidgey the Strawberry is my favorite Pidgey of all time. And I know it's random, but I just think it's kind of adorable. Anyways though, before I go into too many nostalgic tirades about Generation 2, let us go pick up our, actually I forgot, my mom called me on the phone before I was about to record, and she gave me a super potion, which is actually kind of neat. Now let me guess, you're going to tell me I have to go back to my PC in order for me to make room for this, right? I hate this game. I hate this game. I hate this game. I don't, I'm kidding. Alright, there we go, we got it. Also, don't mind me, I had to whip out my my pad of paper. I forgot that I'm taking notes, so I know what parts to cut, and I know what parts not to cut and whatnot. So, if you guys see me randomly pause out of nowhere, it's because I'm taking notes on my pad of paper to make cuts and whatnot. Cut spot where getting egg. I do this that way I don't have to like rewatch the entire thing over again, because it takes maybe an hour extra of time, and if I can just write everything down, it's actually a lot easier for me to edit, and thus I can actually get more of these out. Because if you guys are familiar with how things work in the holiday season here on Mystic Umbreon, yeah, you guys know that it's the busiest time of the year. I do 4 videos a week for the month of November and December. We don't have any new games this year, so I really don't know like how successful it's going to be, but I mean, I got a plethora of really solid ideas that I'm quite proud of, and you guys are going to notice too that on some of these ideas, I have done them before, but I just felt like you know, some of these series need to be reworked. So I did, I redid some, I'm going to be redoing some rankings and a couple other things, so I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I believe this guy still gives us a Miracle Seed though, right, doesn't he? Which actually, funny enough, because I have a Lombre on my team, we can actually give the Miracle Seed over to Lombre, so that's good. My question is though, do I have a new encounter here? Or because I think I got my Pokemon the last time, I'm going to double check here real quick, because I did get a, oh I forgot, it's on the Pokegear. Not playing Gen 3, Mr. Mystic. Let's see here. Route 32. Yeah, I did get an encounter already on Route 32 because I got something before heading up. Yeah, so I got something in this grass. So unfortunately, we do not get a Route 32 encounter. But honestly, that's okay. I'm actually relatively satisfied with the team that we have so far. And I think if this team can continue to stay, we can have a Skuntank, we can have a Camerupt, a Rhydon, if I can get a Waterstone. I don't know if the Impossible Evos has anything to do with Stone Evolutions, but I guess we'll find out momentarily. Now, the Bugsy's lowest ace, I believe, is level 14, so I don't have to be, like, super, super careful when it comes to taking on, like, a bunch of these trainers and stuff like that. So I can be, like, a little bit reckless, but I mean, I obviously am not gonna, like, be overusing Kyogre, because if I just use Kyogre the entire time, it would honestly just be, like, so easy and simple. Like, there really wouldn't even be much of a challenge if I just specifically used Kyogre. And I'm honestly very, very blessed to have been able to start off with a Kyogre, because I mean, it's not often, especially in like with the realm. Are you part Dark type? You are. Cool. So your Psychic attacks will not work on me if you have Confusion. Are you even are you gonna go for Confusion? You have Yawn. Okay. So I'll let the Sombrero and go for some Absorbs. I really don't don't care that Sombrero fell asleep. Unless you use like a Cursed Tackle attack, then that might actually be a little bit of trouble. Are you going to use Tackle, or are you just going to sit there like a goober? Oh, yeah. I think we're fine. Okay, yep, that's good enough. Pepe's level 10. You're learning Fierce types. Yeah, well, let's get rid of Scratch. But anyways, I was saying that Bugsy's lowest ace is 14. And I don't really want to be overusing Kyogre per se, but I mean, I'm pretty much just going to be using Kyogre, like, to maybe get myself like out of like really, really sticky situations, because Kyogre is kind of like the panic button. What item is up here real quick? Yeah, Kyogre's basically like the panic button if things ever like go south. And by the way, real quickly, I am going to cut and go sell this HP up, because that's 4,900 Poké-Dollars. I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, I absolutely love the HP up, because any items that are like medicine sell for like a godly amount of money, and having 49 extra Poké-Dollars in this portion of the game is really, really, really helpful. So because of that, now I went off screen and I bought maybe like 20 more Pokeballs. So we are not going to have any issues at all when it comes to capturing a lot of these Pokemon from here on out. Hopefully not, anyways. I mean, like, if you're a legendary, then I mean, by far, yeah, that's going to be a little bit more troublesome. You're also a little, you're a little worrying, and I really don't like that very much. You're kind of a wall. Even with my Ember, that really isn't doing a lot. You also don't have any good poison type attacks, but maybe Ikena's Fury swipes you. Yeah, oh man, dude, do I really have to go out and into Kyogre now? That didn't do like a lot to Kyogre, but I mean, like, I still want to be careful. Aromatherapy. I didn't know aromatherapy actually cured confusion. I thought it was only poison, paralysis, burn, and freeze. But that's pretty nifty that it does that. Unless I'm wrong. But yeah, these randomizers can get a little bit heated, you guys. That Vileplume right there, it wasn't necessarily like a huge cause of concern. But I mean, it just goes to show that in randomizers, you can get really, really caught off guard. And if you don't have the proper typing matchups for your team, yeah, you might be kind of screwed. Especially if like Kyogre dies. Kyogre, I'm kind of relying on, to be honest. I should also go buy Paralyzed Heals. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I went ahead and I went to go buy like antidotes and everything else in between. I could have healed back at the Pokemon Center, but I forgot to. And then I kind of like to, you know, to get the show on the road here. Like I want to get to Azalea by the end of this episode, which I definitely think that we can. But I want to talk to you guys for a couple seconds about anime. I've actually been on like more of like an anime binge lately, and oh my god, you're a Dodrio. That would actually be really cool if we could actually capture you, because Dodrio is pretty freaking strong, especially being at like 110 base speed. Oh, monstrous. But yeah, I've been watching a little bit more anime lately, and I recently just caught up on Rising of the Shield Hero, and I gotta say I really liked it. It definitely went into a direction that that I wasn't expecting it to go. If you like anything that has to do with like I don't know, like your your open world, maybe like L's World, SAO kind of like a not game, but like, you know, more like fairies, mythological creatures and stuff like that, like dragons, like, you know, like those types of like RPGs and like animes and whatnot, then I would highly recommend Rising of the Shield Hero. It took me about 2-3 years to actually finally get into it, but I figure, like, you know, instead of using my extra time to game, you know, why not get into some more anime? And I really liked Rising of the Shield Hero. I thought it was really good. The dubbing for it actually isn't all that bad either. I mean, I'm usually someone, you know, who usually watches the sub versions of the anime, but I mean, I did enjoy the dub. It actually wasn't all that bad. Whether or not I am going to be reading the manga once I am done watching season 3, because season 3 for Shield Hero came out I think like 3 weeks ago, and I literally had just like I literally just caught up on the anime in like a weekend full of binging. So now like I'm on like the weekly schedule of waiting for the anime to come out. I don't know how many episodes of season 3 there are going to be, but it won't be it won't be a while until I read the manga. If I can help it, I like watching anime more than I do reading manga. If I enjoy reading manga, but I have to really like the anime first, unless it's like a series like Berserk, for example, which I actually have not seen Berserk, but I heard that a little while ago it got an anime for it. I was going to read the manga first, but I honestly kind of forgot to. I will read the manga first if I have like a friend tell me like you should read the manga like over the anime, but I'd say like 8 times out of 10 I'm going to watch the anime if they have one for it first, and then I'll read the manga after that, catch up to wherever the manga is and stuff like that, because I mean, I don't know, like I enjoy watching the anime, but if I really enjoy the story, I will read, like I want to read further on and like read the manga. So like that's probably what I'm going to wind up doing for Shield Hero. But currently right now, because the anime is still going on for season 3, I'm going to wait for season 3 to end, and then I'll start reading the manga. Like I said, I just like watching anime more than reading manga, but I don't dislike reading manga. If the series is good enough, I'll continue it. Definitely, for sure. Like that's what I did with Demon Slayer. Like I watched all of them. I watched all of Demon Slayer, and then I watched and read all of Demon Slayer so far. And the animation is still incredibly amazing, by the way. One of the series, I've actually only ever read like 2 full mangas in my entire life, and one of them is obviously Demon Slayer, but the other one is actually Love and Lies. I think it was actually a series. It was actually like a romance anime on I think it was on Prime, and I really liked it. But I absolutely hated the way how the manga ended. It was really stupid. I'm not gonna say how it ends, because like some of you guys out there might be like watching it right now, but I just did not really like how the manga ended. But like again, like I said, it's one of those instances where I enjoy the series and like I enjoy the anime and like I want to read it. Sometimes I'll do that. Another anime I've actually watched that I actually had put off for a very long time, especially coming from someone like me, Attack on Titan. Because I remember in 2014, I watched all of season 1, but for whatever reason, I stopped watching in season 2. Now I'll tell you guys, right now I'm currently on season 4, and I'll just say where I am right now. I'm just, without spoiling much, I'm blown away. Basically, like the story, it took a turn on which like I wasn't expecting to go. That's all I'm gonna say, without spoiling anything else. That that story is absolutely just, it definitely threw me for a loop. It definitely threw me through a loop. I will tell you guys that. Oh, you might have explosion. That is very, very scary. Give me 1 second. And you're also like level 15. I usually don't look up stuff for these randomizers, but you are literally a cause for death here. I might have to sacrifice one of my Pokemon because you are a Regice and because you have explosion. And that is very, 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 very scary. So I don't like to look up movesets and whatnot for these, but I mean, in cases like this, I really, really do have to make the play here. Yeah, explosion is one of your moves. Yeah, because level 1, explosion, stomp, icy wind. Yeah, those are your 3 attacks right now. So one of these, if you use explosion, one of my members is going to die. And then I will say, you know, actually, maybe Rhyhorn would actually be good because according to Pokemon Database, you have icy wind. But I guess if you're going to be dumb enough and go for explosion, I guess Rhyhorn definitely would be the best play. I don't trust Kyogre taking a hit because it could be a crit. I hope that it doesn't come down to my Rhyhorn taking a hit, but I gotta do what I gotta do. You're also relatively defensive, so this is... yeah. I'm glad that you're using that now. Please, can I survive? Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that really, really is unfortunate. Sometimes in these randomizers, you literally just cannot. I thought because, like, you know, it being a rock type, you know, it might actually be able to take the hit, but unfortunately, you know, that just wasn't the case. Truth be told, I could have sacked off Pepe instead of the Rhyhorn, but I really, really wasn't too sure what it was going to do. Because, like, you know, sometimes the AI, what it'll do is it'll go for its other attacks and then explode. So it could have used Icy Wind, it could have killed off Pepe, and then it could have used Explosion after that. So I'm glad that... I'm not glad that my Pokemon died off, but I feel like I made the right call. And I do not think that a Water Pulse could have knocked it out, even with the rain, because Regice is actually very specially defensive. It has 200 special defense, and it also has a 5-level gap over Shamu. It just... Kyogre would have been dead. And plus also, like, the fact of a critical hit, there was no possible way that I could have taken that chance. Alright, I wrote down in my notes to remove Rhyhorn from the layout. That stinks though, because I actually really wanted to use a Rhydon. I don't think I would have evolved it into Rhyperior if I had the option. I just prefer Rhydon over Rhyperior. But yeah, Pokemon like Regice and stuff like that, especially this early in the game, or even just like, you know, Pokemon that have what do you want to call it? What am I thinking of? I forgot what I was gonna say. Gosh darn it! If I remember, I'll let you guys know. I thought I would have outspeed you for whatever reason. But yeah, Pokemon that just have like, you know, like all those broken moves and stuff like that, and gotta be careful. You really, really do have to be careful. I'm honestly sad because like I really, really wanted to use a Rhydon like on my team if it was possible for me to get, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, in randomizer Nuzlocks, you know, sometimes this stuff happens. I mean, like you got to be careful of stuff like this. You know what? Just for the sake of it, this guy wants to sell you a Slowpoke tail for $1 million Poké. In a way, I absolutely love this guy. Because I just think like $1 million Poké is just like absolutely insane. I think you can actually reach 99999 like with the 6 9s and whatnot, but yeah, that's so unfortunate. Rest in peace, Rhyhorn. That's one of those situations where you're gonna have something die regardless of how good of a Nuzlocker you are. Like when you have a Pokemon with an explosion, yeah, you're dead. I think that was actually our first death of the series too, which kind of stinks. I guess with that, I'll put the other egg on the team while we're here. All right, now we go to Union Cave. While we're here, I'm also going to heal. Also, what is the status on these eggs? I might try and hatch these eggs once we get to Azalea, or even like what I might do is I might put them in Pika Hex and I might make them instant eggs. But then again, like I also don't want to see what the Pokemon are going to be. There is though the fact that when it comes to eggs, I technically already got a status encounter. But I think because it's the Togepi egg, I might be a little bit more lenient for that because I mean, it's the Togepi egg. It's one of the biggest things in Gen 2. So I think I'm gonna let this one slide. Or even I can even do this. Whatever Pokemon hatches a bit between the eggs. You know what? Screw it. I'll just keep both depending on what they are. But before that, I do want to get in a little bit more grinding before we head inside Union Cave. Grinding really doesn't even matter because, like, truth be told, I can just Pika Hex all my Pokemon up to the proper levels anyway. You learn Magnitude. That's actually good. I need a good ground type attack, and I hope that Numel sticks around because I actually like Camerupt a lot as a fire type. I have one more trainer to also battle real quick. I'm gonna battle you, and we'll get a move on after that. Luxia, that's not a big deal. We can also just go for the Magnitude. And you're pretty much dead. That's pretty good. Having a ground type attack like Magnitude this early on is definitely going to help as well. As far as levels go, I think we're doing okay. I'm actually just going to keep Numel up front for a little bit longer. Real quickly though, before I go into the cave, I want to put Pepe up front because that way I can get a status off on whatever Pokemon's going to be in there. If it is a legendary though, well, we're kind of screwed. But I mean, I guess we will decide on. Hopefully, it's something good. I haven't really gotten like a lot of like really great encounters. I mean, like we ran in a Groudon in like the last episode, but I mean, even then. Or I pray this is going to be good. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had to make a real quick cut. Let's see what our first encounter is going to be instead of Union Cave. I'm closing my eyes. Please be good. Oh, wow. I'm kind of like mixed about this because you're a stone evolution and usually most stone evolutions, I mean, like, I'm going to capture you because fodder, obviously. I mean, like, you know, having good fodder Pokemon, it will always definitely help. Like, you know, in case I have to make like a sacrifice or something. So like, I'm going to catch it regardless. I'm just curious, like, as if like, should I train you or not? You have Razor Leaf. You're not that bad. And you have Thin Attack too. That's... Heartgold and Soul Silver actually did you some good in some ways. Or you could that and I can miss my encounter. Okay. I guess that works too, Shiftry. I guess that works too, buddy. I absolutely love it when stuff like that happens. Okay, got my rare bone. I think the rare bone can actually sell for quite a bit of money. I could have ran into a Flareon. Man, that's not fair. Flareon, I think I would actually get like a decent move. Like, I think Flareon actually gets like Flame. I don't know about Flame, maybe Fire Fang or something. Either that or you're stuck as a special attacker like the entire time, because the evolutions really, they do kind of get screwed over in earlier generations because you're stuck with one stab move until I think like you get to like the 40s or something. I think they think that's usually like how it works. Like a lot of the evolutions in earlier gens, especially like Generation 3, when you're playing like a Fire Red and Leaf Green, for example, they rely more on like, they're more like TM heavy. Because like you get Eevee at level 25 from Celadon, and then you either have to give Flareon Flamethrower, Jolteon either Shockwave or Thunderbolt, and then you have to give, well, I mean, I guess Vaporeon's the best one technically because you can save your Water Pulse TM that you get from Misty. So I guess like Vaporeon would probably be like the best one to use. In terms of like, I mean, I don't know. Jolteon's pretty good too because you get Shockwave. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's call it Jolteon. I mean, like like both Jolteon and Vaporeon are good for their typings that you get, and you really can't go wrong for using Vaporeon as a water type either. I mean, like I think if you're playing Leaf Green, obviously Starmie's going to be the better option for you. But I mean, even then, like you still have Lapras. Lapras is really good, but I mean, Vaporeon kind of hangs out with them pretty equally. Do you have Intimidate, or is that your Mega? I think that's your, not, yeah, that is your Mega, huh? Yeah, you have Intimidate. You would Thunder Wave me. You jerk face. Going up against Manectric always reminds me of like my first battle against Watson. If you guys have ever played Pokemon Emerald, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Watson was probably one of the most difficult gym leaders I ever had problems with as a kid because I had played Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire prior to going up against prior to playing Pokemon Emerald. So I thought his Magneton was hard, but going up against his Manectric in Generation in Pokemon Emerald was definitely a little bit of a step up. If you like, honestly though, because I feel like Watson was always more difficult for me because I always used to pick Trico, and you know, like back in those times, like, you know, when you're a kid, you think that just having your starter Pokemon makes you like the most invincible trainer in the world. Like I only had my my Trico that I got as my starter, which, by the way, I actually still have that Trico when I was a kid. It's still on my my Pokemon Home. I remember, oh no, that one wasn't when I was a kid. That was when, yeah, that one was actually when I was 12 years old. So I have a Sceptile that's like I've had since like 2006 that I still have inside my my Pokemon Home copy. But anyway, what I was saying was, I always used to pick Trico as my starter, so it was a little bit more difficult for me to play. And because I only used one Pokemon, I actually kind of restarted my game, funny enough. And I remember like going up against Watson and like Flannery, I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna pick a different starter. Then I chose Blaziken, and it was actually much easier. But obviously, I still think that like the best starter for Generation for Hoenn actually in general is Swampert, because I mean you have Water Ground, you only have one weakness. It's bulky. It still has good offensive stats. You have a decent level up pool. there's just something about Marshtomp and the whole Swampert line that just makes it just really, really good. And I definitely do not regret choosing Swampert as my starter. I think Swampert is actually one of the more popular Generation 3 Pokemon anyway. I think all 3 Generation 3 starter Pokemon are very, very popular and very, very good in a lot of ways. But obviously, like, you know, when it came to Blaziken getting Speed Boost, that's obviously, like, you know, where it's going to be a little bit more popular. Like, well, I should say, like, more popularly oriented is the word I'm looking for. Is popularly even a freaking word, man? I don't even know. Obviously, these NPCs, they also just love having Slowkings. That's honestly all I've seen so far. This is a bunch of Slowkings and whatnot. You might be a pain in the butt. Can I go for Absorb on you? Actually, hang on a second, actually. Okay, it's Rock Slide. For whatever reason, I thought that Nature Power would turn it into an Earthquake. Also, you are being... Sir? You can stop with all the Mud Slaps now. That would be great if you could. I do not like accuracy dropping. Come on. Thank you. That was very, very annoying, but we did it. I've read this thing had the Shell Bell. The Shell Bell is obviously isn't nearly as good as the Leftovers is, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. I guess finding a healing item in battle is pretty good. I think the Icy Rock is for Hail, right? Like if you have Hail up, it'll actually keep it out a little longer. That's funny how I have both of these. That's also another really, really good item that we can go ahead and sell. So when I get to Azalea Town, I'll go ahead and sell that and we'll get a lot more money for it. We're actually getting pretty blessed financially in this playthrough. Hey, Shiftry. You love coming back to me and taunting me that I couldn't capture you. That's a really, really good item. Oh, Jirachi. I would have loved to have captured a Jirachi. Kind of jealous now. Jealous and a little bit envious. A little bit mad. Jirachi's typing of Steel and Psychic is so good that honestly, like, it can be used for just a plethora of reasons. And like Jirachi too, like, you know, being like a mythical, having base 100 across the board, literally like a perfect Pokemon for a Nuzlocke. You can either use it as support, you can use it as a special or physical attacker like Jirachi. Oh, clutch. Clutchmon. Another Shell Bell. That's actually really, really nifty. Right on. I like that. I'm gonna give the Shell Bell to... Let's give you to Pepe, I guess. And now, since we are pretty much in Azalea Town, I'm going to skip over this train real quick, if possible. We can get, okay. And right now, I am going to, this is going to be the part where Team Rocket's like, yeah, we have the well all to ourselves. We broke up 3 years ago. Giovanni's coming back. Silver's son is kind of a, or Giovanni's son Silver's kind of a douche. Yep. We all know that. Anyway, before I end off this episode, I'm actually going to go ahead and cut until when I hatch the eggs, because I want to see what I'm dealing with here in terms of eggs. I want to know, that way I can do a little bit of team preparation before going up against Bugsy. So I will be right back and I'll cut to when both these eggs hatch. Alright, so we have one egg about to hatch. I know what's going to come out of one of these eggs. I believe one of them is going to be Licky. I do not know what's going to be coming out of the other one, though. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. That was more what I was looking for. So this is Licky. That last egg just was not very good. And usually what I call my my Lick Licky. I usually name them Augustus. If you guys know Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you know that I'm talking about Augustus Gloop. Augustus Gloop, my dear boy. Love Gene Wilder. I love Gene Wilder's version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Augustus Gloop. How do you spell that? Did I spell it right? Augustus, yeah, yes I did. I mean, come on, Lick Licky just looks like a Pokemon that would just dive straight into the freaking chocolate river. Come on. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Okay, though. You guys know already right now, yeah, I'm not even going to bother with this thing. And this thing has extra sensory for whatever reason. I think it's just... I think it has extra sensory because that's what Togepi initially has. I think that might just be programmed in. But I am actually going to put Lick Licky on the team. And I could put Nidoran on the team, but I don't really know what other Pokemon we're going to be able to get as encounters. But with that said, we will go get those encounters in the next episode. For now, though, I'm going to go dive into the Chocolate Factory with Augustus and go taste some chocolate. I think Augustus agrees. See you guys next time.